Hello, everybody. This is Sean V. Bradley, CEO of Dealer Synergy, and my man,
Peter, the Web Doc Martin.
Okay, and we're just going to get into it because Peter doesn't even know what I'm going to say. He's kicking and screaming over here. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm neutral, I'm Switzerland. You're in the Dealer Synergy studios. I got to talk about it. Folks, unless you're living under a rock with SpongeBob and the guy Patrick, you obviously know that there's a heated conversation right now with certain vendors as it relates to dealership and the relations. And some of the vendors, I'm not going to mention by name, but Cars.com and Car Gurus, Autotraders of the world, and other internet lead aggregators or online classifieds, right? So I just want your opinion on this, Peter, is that here's what is out there right now, is that there's some discussion as far as, okay, forget about the vendors by name, for example. Just in general, what is your thoughts and your opinions about online classifieds taking dealerships' inventory and then selling that inventory to other affiliate companies?
Well, if they're selling the inventory, it's kind of like the same thing with a record label. You know, that's the dealer's property. They should be getting paid and get a commission on that or some sort of percentage of it. Like, for example, today on the radio they were talking about how these artists who have been basically doing the remakes of recording big name songs,
Remixes and stuff.
remixes
Yeah.
on YouTube, how they can't get paid for that because they actually don't own the original material.
Right.
And now they've changed it where now as long as they're paying the original artist, they can actually make profit on that.
That's pretty awesome. So again, here's part of the debate, is that you're paying certain vendors money, in some cases $3, $5, $8, $10,000 a month for them to advertise your inventory. So you're paying a company thousands of dollars a month. Then they're taking your inventory, which is your inventory, because they've got a special little clause in their contract that says, yeah, we can do anything we want with your inventory after you pay us to use it. They're taking the inventory and then they're selling it to other companies. Now here, I'm going to ask you a harder question. Okay. Is that I agree with what you said 100%. They should get royalties or something. The dealership should get royalties or compensated with their own inventory if said company is making a profit off of it. What about this situation? What is your opinion if a company charges a dealer thousands and thousands of dollars per month for their inventory so they could do an online classified, but then this said company takes that inventory, sells it to not only just any website, but a website that slams dealers? Specifically, there's a company called Car Gurus out there. Car Gurus basically has, no favor for the dealership whatsoever. It basically puts on the website good deal or bad deal. Have you seen this yet?
No.
Okay, you really got to look at it, Peter. It's crazy. But let's just say, since in all fairness, Peter just said he hasn't seen it, so he can't really talk intelligently of it, but just say conceptually. Forget about Car Gurus. How do you feel about the concept that a dealer trusts a online classified company, a major company, with thousands and thousands of dollars a month? They turn around and take that dealership's feed, sell it to an affiliate company, whatever the name is, and that company basically has negative stuff on the website. So, for example, somebody's typing in a vehicle, and because they bought that feed, the
Right.
dealership's in-stock vehicle pops up and their prices pop up. This said website turns around and posts good deal or bad deal. Who are they to turn around and say if that's a good or bad deal? Does that sound crazy or what?
No, that's definitely wrong. And if I was a dealer, I'd be very upset about it as well, because if it's my inventory and the company is taking it and putting it in places where it's going to benefit me and I'm going to get more exposure and generate potential leads, I have no problem with that. But when they're putting it on sites like that are not pro-dealer and are actually anti-dealer, I have a huge problem with that, and I don't care what the company is.
Right on, and then a couple more questions, because I get these emails that are like, you're on the right target, Sean, thank you so much, you're caring about us, and Jim Ziegler, thank you. But then I got people saying that I thought I might be crazy, because there's people that are pushing back that this is, what's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with this. Here's the other one that really drives me crazy is recently, it was disclosed that one of these companies owns straight up dealer bashing sites like ypaysticker.com and dealersecret, invoice.com and these other crazy URLs. Do you know that?
No.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you straight up. Cars.com, with the acquisition of newcars.com, owns these sites. ypaysticker.com, and basically they smash dealers on there. And they're basically, the whole premise is that, Cars.com is saying that, well, there's people that hate dealers and think dealers are scumbags and this, that, and the other thing, and we still want to capture those people. And I kind of understand that you want to capture as much market as possible, but not by agreeing. So you ever heard that there's a rebuttal called feel felt found, right? Mm-hmm. There's a rebuttal called feel felt found. Basically, if somebody said, I'm looking for the best price. Well, you know what? I feel exactly the same way as you do, Mr. Customer. Price is important to me too. As a matter of fact, other people have felt the same way as we do. That's why they're going on the internet. And what they found is by coming to us, they're going to get an amazing deal, fun experience as well. Stop. That's a feel felt found. You could use feel felt found for everything. You could use a feel felt found for I hate car salesmen. Listen for it. But this is not the way you should do it. I feel exactly the same way as you do. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with any dealership that's going to, if they engage a prospect and says, I hate, salespeople, for that dealer representative to say, you know what, I feel the same exact way as you do. That's bad. You could use feel felt found. Listen. You know what? I'm sorry you feel that way. Other people felt the same way, but they found by dealing with ABC Motors and ourselves that that's not the case, that we're an integrity-based business and we don't have just car salesmen, we've got automotive professionals. So I get that I also want to engage people that don't like or have had a negative experience, but I'm not going to engage those people by perpetuating negativity, by perpetuating and agreeing with these negative stigmas of our industry. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and
talk to me.
I kind of disagree with you in the sense that
it's okay.
Car dealers and car salesmen. I'm an ex-car dealer. I've been in car business my whole life. There are a lot of people that don't like us.
Right.
Okay. There's a lot of people that have had bad experiences, and I jokingly say sometimes we deserve that, but things have changed dramatically. So you're going to have people out there, and because it is a free society, you're going to have people that are going to go out there and say what they want to say. As long as these companies that are doing this, I don't have a problem with it, because if they're taking those people and they're capturing those leads and then bringing them back to us as a dealer and give us an opportunity to go change that situation, that's okay. But if they're doing it and they're taking those leads and doing something else with them, then I have a problem. Because no matter what we do, you're going to have a certain percentage of the public, and actually there was a study just recently where we rank right up there with attorneys as the least trusted people in the country. And that's an unfortunate situation, but that's what has happened over the years. But you're going to have people that feel that way and people that are going to talk bad about us and say bad things about us. And unfortunately, there are some dealers out there, as we know, that are doing things that, perpetuates that problem.
Here, I'm not opposed to that. Let me make sure that we're on the same page, because we're spitting crazy amount of information. My problem is not going after those type of people. I'm okay with that. What I have a problem with is that Cars.com has a website called whypaysticker.com or dealerinvoicesecrets.com or whatever the heck it is. On those websites, they are agreeing, it says, verbiage like, dealers are doing this, and if you are not trustful dealers, and da-da. It's basically perpetuating on these websites. These websites don't negate or neutralize that negative stigma. What they're doing is they're perpetuating that negative feeling and that negative stigma, to the prospect. I'm all for Cars.com or any company to turn and get us any opportunity, whether they have a negative feeling or a positive feeling about the dealer. I just don't think that a partner of ours, if I'm spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month, I don't want to turn around these companies, these partners of mine, supposed partners, to turn around and plaster negative stuff that, dealers, why pay? Like, for example, what do you mean, why pay sticker? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about this for a second. What do you mean, why pay sticker? Why not pay sticker? Price is only relevant with the absence of value. Are there any companies that exist that say, what Cars.com charges or Autotrader charges this dealership or that dealership? Do I go to the 17,500 car dealerships out there and say, why pay list price for Cars.com? Why turn around and get that when we know for a fact that XYZ dealership over there turns around and pays, way less? And then, ABC dealership over there. I don't go into Cars.com's pockets. I don't go into Autotrader's pockets and turn around and tell dealers what they should or shouldn't pay on a mass level. I don't send emails. I don't build a website about it. But maybe we should.
Yeah, but the problem, though, Sean, really goes back to the early 1990s when you had AAA, where they actually would give their members a printout showing the invoice and the MSRP. So if you were a AAA member, you could call up and you could say, hey, AAA, I'm thinking about buying a new Ford Taurus, and they would actually send you over. So that customer would walk into the dealership and say, hey, I know, Mr. Dealer, you paid this price for the car, and I'm not going to pay you this MSRP because I'm only going to pay you a little bit over this. So this is a problem that's been going on for years. And it's unfortunately created a whole culture of people that think, you know what, I'm going to out-negotiate the car dealer. And it goes back to what you're saying. It's all about building relationships. So we have this been going on for a long time, and it's sad to see that it's gotten to the point where people actually have websites about it, but that's the world we live in. But as long as, going back to what I was saying earlier,
would you pay a vendor, a partner, to build those websites and perpetuate that? That's my question. I know it exists. I understand it exists, but do we have to give money to a partner of ours to do that to us?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
If they don't, someone else will. And if I'm paying them and they've got a way, I believe in the cast a wide net. So I want to capture every potential customer. So if there's customers out there that are anti-dealer, and I've got a partner that's got a way to capture, I think it's only a small percentage, really. I look to know the stats on how many people actually visit that site, but we should actually check that later. We can do that. But the point being is, I'd rather catch a wide net and be able to get that person in the door and have a shot at them than them going to someone else, because there will be someone else to fill that void. It's an unfortunate situation.
Okay. See, and this is why I have him on here, because this is not just my opinion. I want a neutral party. I want somebody to give you a neutral perspective. You know what the other problem is? I don't think these people sell cars. That's what drives me crazy, is that a lot of these people have never sold cars. And by the way, I'm sorry, but I'm putting you on blast. If you've never sold a car, you've never worked in a dealership, shut your mouth. Don't talk about stuff you don't know anything about.
Exactly.
I don't turn around and talk about cardiovascular surgery because I've never been to medical school. I don't turn around and talk about golf swings because I don't play golf. So if you don't sell cars and you've never sold cars before, don't turn around and comment back and jump on these vendors' backs and support them. I mean, Peter, like you said, it was a dealer. You know, Peter's been in the industry for like a gazillion years. He looks young, but he's old as hell. How many years?
27.
27 years. Stop. No, he's really been in there that long. But my point being is that I just wanted to have this conversation, car guy to car guy, and I respect that opinion. I got one last question for you, though. All right.
Okay.
And this is what the big debate is like. Oh God, I thought I was done. All right, here's the big debate, though. The debate is this. Okay, back to the Cars.com situation. One of the things that they stopped, for the record, I'm very proud of Cars.com for stopping this, but what they were doing was they were turning on, let's say you're the dealer back in Ford, okay? If I was a regular prospect, I'm searching on Google, I'm searching on Cars.com, I'm searching on Autotrader, and I'm looking for, let's just paint a hypothetical situation, a 2010 Ford F-150 with, let's just say, 40,000 miles on it, black, with an extended cab and side rails. That's the vehicle.
Okay.
Guess what? I'm searching, and I found it. I found it on Cars.com. I found the exact vehicle, and guess who else has got it? You do. You're the dealership. You've got that exact vehicle. It's in your inventory, and it's perfect condition. You took it in right. You love it. I turn around and I contact you, and me and you have a conversation.
Right.
Hey, Peter, I'm looking at this car. Hey, Sean, I've got that vehicle. Okay, great. And then we start talking, and then whether you set the appointment, you didn't set the appointment, whatever. I get off the phone with you. 48 hours later, Cars.com was sending an email saying, psst, hey, I know we fulfilled your dreams. I know that we found you exactly what you're looking for, and the dealer's got it, but you should consider these 8 other vehicles that might or might not be even on your inventory. So the problem I had with that, which thousands of other automotive professionals had, was like, well, wait a minute, we're paying $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month in some cases for some of these dealerships, dealer groups, for a classified listing to turn around and evangelize our inventory, and then they were going to give them sub-choices. I know you know what their kind of argument was. I want your opinion on that.
I agree completely. Here's the thing. If I'm paying for a lead and we know that the buying cycle is anywhere from 90 to 120 days, I need to have time to work that customer, get that customer in the door. For them to send something out 48 hours is, in my opinion, wrong. Because if I am a good, well-trained internet salesperson, when I'm contacting that customer saying, you know what, I have that F-150 you want, but I also have 2 or 3 other choices, because I know that you train that way. I've always been trained that way. When you're communicating with a customer or a prospect, you want to give them more than one choice. But to have the vendor who sold me that lead initially go back and offer them a couple other ones, I have a problem with that. And I'm glad to see that they stopped doing it.
They stopped doing that. But
That's great.
But let's give the counterpoint. But what they said was, and you brought it up too, when you were at Digital Dealer or something, that they made a fact that they said X amount of people came back.
Well,
let's talk about that.
Their comment was, and part of this whole situation was, that 58% of the people that submit a lead on Cars.com come back to Cars.com 30 days later. And at that point, they feel that it's okay for them to remarket those because they've come back to the website. Well, that actually brings up a whole bigger problem in the industry. If 58% of the people that are going back after they buy, actually they contact saying I'm interested in buying, that points to one thing: they were not followed up with. And there was a statistic that came out in Automotive News about 4 months ago, said 25% of the people surveyed said that they were never contacted after they filled out a lead form. So there's a huge problem here, Sean, and part of it is people make 1 or 2 phone calls and they send 1 or 2 emails. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. A lot of those emails are not getting through the spam filter and being delivered. So it is all a problem that needs to be addressed. It's not just one little piece, there's multiple problems. But the biggest problem is people are not getting contacted. So of course, what are they going to do? And I'll tell you one other thing that people don't realize.
Let's talk about that back real quick.
Okay.
Because I know we're going pow information, but this is good stuff. I would concur with what Peter says. As a trainer, it blows my mind in 2013 that 25% of people that submit a purchase request don't ever get responded on or connected with. It's crazy. And what I'm finding today, I just got off the phone with a dealer, same situation. They think just by calling somebody once or twice or 1 or 2 emails, that's follow-up. The average buying cycle is 45 to 90 days. 45 to 90 days, the average internet prospect is searching 5 to 8 other dealerships or websites. There is definitely a follow-up, problem. And you're right, it's not just one thing. And I wanted to bring this up because Cars.com did talk about X amount of people are going back. I've got some very, very strong third-party connections with, major lead source providers, and they actually echoed what their, research shows is that people are they're submitting a purchase request and they're hitting the back button sometimes, and they're actually going back and they're submitting and they're trying to look at a couple of different choices. You know what Jim Ziegler had said to me, and it was funny, but it was true. He said, look, if I go to Burger King and I buy a cheeseburger, it's my cheeseburger. If I decide to throw that cheeseburger in the garbage can, if I decide to break it in half and share it with people, it's my prerogative. It's my cheeseburger. So my only point here is that, look, if you're paying, and here's the other reason, we didn't even talk about this, they're flying under the flag that they're not a lead source provider.
Right.
Okay, and that drives me crazy because that's BS, okay? Or we're an online classified. Okay, semantics. You generate opportunities to do business. You generate leads. But since they technically are not a lead source provider, they're able to charge whatever they want to charge and not be held accountable for lead volume. That's what the challenge is. And this is me almost 15 years straight doing this, is that people that are online classifieds, Autotrader, is that they'll turn around and charge ridiculous amount of money. And they say, well, no, we're not a lead source provider. I know we only have 30, we only have 30 leads, but we do site links, we do phone ups, we do this. We are branding, and I get that. So you can't have your cake and eat it too, metaphorically speaking. You can't turn around and say, I'm not a third-party provider, I'm not a lead source provider, but do everything that lead source providers do to max opportunity and traffic, etc. The other problem is that we're talking about used cars. I'm not opposed to new cars. I understand that new cars, it's a whole different animal. I'm talking about which, people need used car sales. Used cars are the #1 opportunity to incrementally grow your business.
Yep.
You could differentiate yourselves. So if you have a unique car, if you have that little snowflake on your lot, metaphorically speaking again, and then somebody turns around and comes to you for an in-stock unit, and it gets repurposed, whether it's overtly or covertly gets repurposed, that's a problem. So you were going to say something else about the numbers.
We talked about some interesting information here and a lot of things, but it goes back to the problem. And I'll give you a tip, and this is a tip you can take home with you and actually make something happen with this. The biggest problem I see with why people are not getting communicated with is because dealers have gotten in this mindset that they want to have a spam filter. In my opinion, you need to turn off your spam filter. Having a spam filter is the equivalent of taking a padlock and a chain and locking your front door. Because if I'm a consumer and I send you in a lead request and for some reason my email gets flagged and doesn't get through your spam filter, you have no idea of knowing. And I'm the consumer saying, wait a second, I just reached out to XYZ dealer, said I want to buy that beautiful car, and they don't even bother calling me back. 25% of the people surveyed said they never heard from the dealer. So if you have a spam filter, here's my tip of the day. Turn it off. I know you're going to get a lot of spam and things like this, but bottom line is you will see an increase in the number of leads coming through. And if you don't want to turn off your spam filter, make sure that on a daily basis you have somebody going in and going through the spam to make sure that those people that are saying, hey, I want to buy a car from you, are not getting lost in your spam filter. That's the tip of the day.
Peter, I want to just tell you that I really appreciate your insight, your feedback, and again, your neutrality. I mean, again, whoever's watching this, you could tell right from the door what my position is and why that's there. And again, by the way, you know, they're probably not going to sponsor me anymore, but Cars.com's been a sponsor, and Autotrader's hired me before to, you know, train one of their largest clients in the country. So I've, you know, received revenue from them before, and so it's not like I think that they're horrible companies. I just don't like some of the things that they're doing, and that's one thing I want to just make clear here as I close this, is that I'm not anti-Autotrader, I'm not anti-Cars.com. I am anti-Car Gurus, for the record, you know, but you know, anti-Car Gurus, but I'm not opposed to those other two companies. I just don't agree with some of the business stuff that you're doing, you know, and again, this is a free country, so I'm just going to give you my opinion. You could choose to watch the video and do something with it, or you could just keep losing dealers and clients and respect. Choice is yours.